Gaming, the only gaming podcast on the internet. My name is Coney, along with TKbreezy. How you doing today?
What's up? What's up? Having a good day now. Took a little bit of a start. I went to go get my car, the old oil change or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Should have taken about 45 minutes. Ended up taking 2 hours. But my car was already sitting out there for an hour, and I don't know. You know what? It's not even gonna get into it. It's whatever. That's not gaming. What's gaming is what we're gonna be talking about today. We got E3 going digital. We got games we're looking forward to in 2021. I also got some news about CD Projekt Red, and then of course the Q&A. So I guess recent urgent update is CD Projekt Red got hacked, and they're getting held for like ransom.
Yeah.
And like it's not like it's the act of the hacking and the getting held for ransom is not the funny part. It's the language that the hackers used. Felt like I was in a chat room in like 2011. I don't know what's going on here, bro. So
yeah, it was a little strange. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. It's all over Twitter, obviously. I don't know. I don't know how this happens, but all I know is that I saw a lot of people that are saying like CD Projekt Red deserved it, and like they should, like if they don't want this to happen, they should like put out a better game, which is really weird to me. Like, how do you conflate those two things? It's just weird people on the internet, man.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny, the language used, but unfortunately, the situation itself is not funny. That CD Projekt Red finds itself in.
Drop the actual readme, but as it reads, it says you have been epically pawned. We have dumped full copies of the source code from your pre-force server from Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and unreleased version of, and the unreleased version of Witcher 3. Okay. We have also dumped all of your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investments, relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand that you will most likely be able to recover them from back webs, which is like also kind of a weird line to put into a ransom note. Like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, we did that, but I mean, we know y'all good though. I just want to let you know that
we know you'll fix it.
And then it's like, if we do not come to agreement, then your source code will be sold or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in gaming journalism. Your public image will go down the shitter even more, and people will see how shitty your company functions. Investors will lose trust in your company, and stocks will dive even lower. You have 48 hours to contact us. So, if all this stuff comes out, I'm pretty sure all this stuff could happen. I mean, it's a company. Like, there's always going to be some internal stuff that like probably doesn't add up to most people. So it's like, all right, yeah, that's a little crazy. But at the same time, you definitely don't want to give into anybody when it comes to like bribery stuff like this, because like they can still do it. Like, you can give them what, $1 million, and then they're just going to do it anyway. So now they got $1 million and you're still getting blasted. So I think the CD Projekt Red is doing the right thing of not giving in. I just don't know what that's going to look like on the other side after, if this is true and all this stuff comes out.
It definitely sets a bad precedent if you negotiate with these kinds of people. If you just sort of give in and you're like, okay, fine, we'll give you whatever you want, because then it just means that if you open yourself up to that again, you kind of have to keep doing it. And it sort of leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. But what's the other play? Do you just let them go out and do what they're going to do? I think CD Projekt Red need to make a tactical decision here, depending on the severity of the documents they lost. I mean, obviously employee data is highly secure, or it's, very sensitive.
Yeah.
But like if we're talking like source code for unreleased game, like what could be in that unreleased Witcher code that would be enough to incriminate them? That's what I wonder. If there's anything, maybe it's just like the code itself that people could just steal. But I'm not privy to exactly how much this could hurt CDPR. I mean, it sucks that they're going through it. I've seen a few people say that this is a PR stunt for cyber, hacking.
I did say that too.
That if that's honestly the case, it's such a bad idea. If that's the case, it is the worst idea they could ever have. That's so stupid. I really hope that's not it.
I mean, honestly, bro, like the thing is, when it comes to this game, if it was for Cyberpunk 2077, like I think right now what they want to do is get the most amount of focus they can off the game, so that way they can silently work on it. I don't know why, like anytime I think about like games fix themselves, I always think about No Man's Sky. Like, I stopped hearing about that game for 3 years straight, and then out of nowhere, everyone was like, "Bro, have you seen No Man's Sky?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What? I thought that game sucked." And then I went to go play it myself, and it was way better. I think that C Project Red could do the same thing. I think unfortunately because this game is like not a multiplayer game, you won't get that same uh you won't get that same like jump of or influx of people wanting to play it now, because like one of the good things about Cyberpunk, or not Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, is that you can play with your friends now.
Yeah.
Which is what people wanted to do from the beginning, and now they can do that. Cyberpunk is just like, hey, your game's broke. We would like to fix it so it doesn't look as broke, or it functions the way that you said it was supposed to function. And like that would be nice, but 3 years after release is not going to matter.
Yeah. I feel like that game in particular is sort of stuck to, because it's a first person open world shooter game, but like nobody's gonna keep playing that for 3 years. Like it's not big enough, it's not extensive enough. I 100% the game, and it took me a while, don't get me wrong, but I still didn't like it. Didn't take that long, certainly not 3 years of play. So right. I know that they've committed to making bigger stuff, but for me, CD Projekt Red is sort of just off the map. I don't know how other people feel. I know that it's silly to see people up in arms and act like they deserve this, but I don't know. It's an unfortunate situation for sure.
What do you mean by they're off the map, though?
I just don't care about them. Because like I not in terms of like I don't mean to sound crass like they deserve this or anything, but like I'm not gonna be following them in terms of their games or anything. I didn't play Witcher 3, but I heard it was good. I played Cyberpunk and I was like, this is fine. I still might play what they put out in the future, but I'm not like excited about it. You know what I mean? It'll be okay.
Yeah, and that's I think that's the real issue with Cyberpunk too. Is it's just it being a fine game is not really an issue. Like it can be fine. It's just a solid, okay experience. But the issue was obviously that it was built up to be the world's greatest game of all time. 2020, and that's just not what we got. So, rip.
I hope it comes to a peaceful resolution. I don't know what that looks like, but I mean, the idea of ransomware is really interesting to me. Not to like condone it or say it's okay, but it's very interesting, the idea of that, because it's like you can just take companies hostage, and again, you could just release this information even after you get what you want. It could be a problem. So
I don't know. That's why I feel like ransom never works, because I just always believe that like there's no reason for you not to do it after. Like, well, there's no written contract. Basically you extorted them for money. You got the money. There's nothing in the extortion contract that says, well, once I get the money, I'm definitely not going to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That doesn't it doesn't matter though. Like I feel like CD Projekt Red did the right thing. Not sure what's gonna come out of this, and I am very interested to see what does happen. And I'm even more interested to see if that theory is true or not. Because, like, I mean, realistically, bro, like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, if that was what they were going for, bro, I hope they just burn. Like, burn after that, though.
Yeah, if it's a stunt, I can't even. Good God, what is that even gonna look like? Ugh.
Yeah, but moving forward, man, we got to talk about E3. So E3, obviously every summer they have a big convention. Talk about some of the latest tech and gaming news, and honestly just business news as well. Like there's a lot of stuff just going on in E3, but for us, mostly it's usually the tech and gaming news. Unfortunately, with coronavirus still going on, or the quarantine still going on, and coronavirus still being so prevalent in America, they have decided to go digital. Now, to me, I don't really think it should have been that big of news. I mean, a lot of E3 was already digital anyway. Like, like when I've been to like 3 E3s, but all the other ones I didn't go to, I didn't feel like a big FOMO for not being there. More so just like not being able to hang out with my friends. But like I still got all the information I wanted. I wanted to see what new systems were coming out, new games were coming out, all that other good stuff. If there was new like peripherals and things like that, all that is like readily available without even spending money to go there. So it does suck that there's no in-person convention for people to want to go to, because I do think the in-person convention is actually pretty cool. But we already had the online, so they're just bolstering the online to me.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal, honestly, and I'm not too surprised by the decision. I guess just them making it official is okay. But yeah, I remember when I was younger, it was my dream to go to E3. I thought it'd be so cool, and then I ended up going for the Smash Ultimate thing. And this was a few years after they made it public, and I hated it. I did not like it. Too many people, lines were too long. That was before Resident Evil 2 came out, and the line to play Resident Evil 2 for 15 minutes, I think, was 3.5 hours. What the, Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. We definitely went when it got public. I never got to go when it was like private sector and everything.
I would have loved
cool.
that.
Yeah. The public joint made it like it turned into like a, I don't know, it turned into like Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like a convention than it is like an industry event at that point. Which is like fine, but you know, it loses some of the like prestige to be there when you could just buy a ticket.
Yeah.
You know.
I will say big ups to Nintendo though for giving us those godlike badges though, because we got in like hours earlier and stuff. Oh, I mean it's still unfortunate though, because like I would have loved to show up at 12 still instead of having to show up at like 9.
Oh,
just to, you know, get in there and do what I want to do. But you know, like I'm not gonna complain about being able to get in early and see some stuff. Man, I got to play Dragon Ball Fighters Z early. I think I got Fighters. Oh, Fighters Z. Fighters. There's some other games that I played earlier too. I'm pretty sure I got to play like some version of Street Fighter, or no, it was a Marvel vs. Capcom, MVCI. Got to play that. A bunch of cool games that I got to play over the years of being able to go early. We also got like when we did the invitational or whatever, they had like a back room, or like not really a back room, like a secluded area for like Nintendo employees and stuff, and like some of the more important people, like the voice of Mario and stuff. And we got me and MVD and Esam got to go back there and play like Smash for like an hour and a half straight. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I also got Max back there, so yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Like there was definitely good high points of it. It just at the same time, as soon as I got out of there and stopped being important, I was trying to rummage my way through, like all those people, and it just, I don't know, man, it's overwhelming, and like just a lot going on.
There's just so many people there. I got to play Ninjala and Spider-Man, and that's it. I think that's all I played all weekend, and I was like, this is okay. But yeah, anyway, I'm not surprised that E3 decided to go digital. It was really the only recourse. I do think
you thought Ninjala was okay when you played it.
It was okay, yeah.
And then you played it again, and you hated it.
And then I hated it, yeah.
Okay.
When I played it later, I was like, I don't like this anymore.
That's fair.
But the maybe it was just because at E3 I could have won one of those big inflatable bats. Maybe that's why I liked it more than I thought I would. But yeah, they're going all digital, which I think is going to be interesting because a lot of people are going to be streaming it, obviously. So you're going to have a lot of people sort of talking and buzzing about it. And you already had that before when it was live. But part of me wonders if there's going to be a little bit more of that, more online demos, instead of just, stuff in person. So maybe they'll release things so people could try them. So you'll have people streaming or trying out their demos, right there, and then streaming them to a bunch of people and getting publicity that way. That might be kind of cool. Other than that, it's not a huge detriment. I think it's going to be a test to see what companies are ready for that, though, because I think some companies might thrive in like a live production environment where E3 pays for the production, or not pays for the production, but E3 set, you everything is set up there for you to present, and then it's all sort of handled, as opposed to like, okay, well, you're on your own now. Like Bethesda has to come up with their own digital presentation, and I'm sure they'll do fine, but like some companies might not have the same level of production, And some companies might not have anything to show. I mean, I don't know what's coming out for Nintendo for the next year. They're looking barren.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, right now, the only thing that I know that for Nintendo right now, if you're talking about like 2022, yeah, I can't think of nothing. But right now, Nintendo on the docket, and since we're moving on to the next topic of games we're looking forward to 2021, is Monster Hunter Rise and Pokemon Snap. Those are only the two things that I can think that I'm looking at that I know that I want in the future from Nintendo. And like I didn't even play the Monster Hunter Rise demo. I just like it looked good based off, and I played Monster Hunter World and I liked that one a lot. And it looks like it built off that, but also got more action oriented. And that is something that like kind of held me back from older Monster Hunters, is that I felt like it was just a clunky game. Like
Yeah.
I just like I didn't want to do this like clunky combat when there's all these other games that like play that are giving me the action I want, but it was fluid. But I think that's something about Monster Hunter though that people are like really dig, is that clunky style of gameplay. But it seems that it's gotten a little more refined. It's obviously still there, but it's gotten a little more refined with movement options they got and things like that. Also, I think it took me a long time to really like get used to the fact that there's like no lock on, that like no like true lock on. You know what I mean? Like if I start an attack and I'm going straight and I'm locked on, I'm still going straight. Like, like
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no like, oh, my character's gonna turn because I'm locked on. And I was like, that's a bit of a learning curve. But once you get past that, I don't know. The game actually is pretty sick.
Yeah.
So there's that. Deathloop is still coming out. I'm still super hyped for that. This PS5 stuff.
Yeah.
Hood Outlaws and Legends. I don't know if I'm hyped for it, but like I'm interested. Like I want to know if it's something I do want to play, but I'm not sure if it's like fully grabbing me yet. And then like pretty much just from like the quick look that I've done, that's all the games that I'm hyped for right now.
Yeah, I'm not particularly all that excited for pretty much it. I mean, I'm excited for Far Cry 6. Obviously, I'm a big Far Cry guy for some reason. And then Deathloop does look cool. Pokemon Snap, I guess. Fine. Other than that, though, I'm looking at the year and I'm like, woo, Jesus.
You got Back 4 Blood.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, Back 4 Blood was really fun, the demo, but I also, in the back of my head, I'm like, I wonder how long this will last. I think a long time. It does feel like it could keep going, but I'm also like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So I gotta be honest. This year's I'm a little worried because I feel like also, in terms of what's happening on Twitch, in terms of like what people want to see, it's sort of cyclical now. So like it was Minecraft for a while, and then obviously Among Us took over the whole summer, and then Rust people tried to make happen, and then Rust kind of died out. Now people are back on GTA RP. Like it feels like people are starving for something to play, and some people are going into Valorant. I played a couple games of Valorant just to see if it was for me. I don't think so, but maybe I'll try it a little bit more. I'm having fun.
Actually?
I kind of like, I like it more when I'm not playing it. Does that make sense? Like when I'm thinking about it right now, it sounds fun, but when I'm playing it, I'm like I was shooting and I'm okay. So I start a round and I don't know what anybody is or what anything does. So I'm just walking around and I look around a corner and there's this big Eye of Sauron, this like purple eye in the middle of the screen. I'm like, what the hell is that thing? Do I shoot it? Do I run from it? What am I supposed to do? And then I just got shot in the head. And then I was playing another round, and this robot just is walking up to me, and I'm like, is that my teams? Is that gonna kill? And then I died. So I don't know what's happening in this game, but maybe I'm sure I would be like that with League too.
Valorant is definitely a game of studying, unfortunately. And I'm the same boat as you as far as like I've got like almost every shooter downloaded because I just want some shooter to like hold my attention.
I would love that.
Like all of them. And Valorant is the one that I wish that I liked more. I just don't like that type of shooter. I don't like the, first shot matters the most type shooter. Like, oh, I didn't see that guy, so I'm now just like, I can't turn and do anything about it. Like, I'm just dead.
Yeah.
And also like, a lot of people are like super sweaty in that game. So like, I played Valorant. It's a great concept, just not for me. I love Apex. I played Overwatch. Great concept. But it's one of those games that I feel like it always holds my attention for like 3 weeks and I don't want to play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm actually back to playing Rogue Company. So I'm just like, I'm all over the place when it comes to shooters, but at the very least, Rogue Company is like, it's like arcade Valorant though. So like I'm more okay with that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there's more times in Rogue Company where like if I'm getting shot, like I can actually do something about it instead of like, oh, just watching my health bar go down. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. They're all good games for sure. Just you got to have the skill set for it. I don't have the skill set for that.
Yeah,
I'm not a shooters player.
I don't think I'm a tactical shooters player, but I'm trying to learn new skills. That's part of the reason I picked up Mario 64 speedrunning is because, like, in quarantine, with everything grinding to a halt and people going crazy, there's less, like... I've really been struggling to find, like, stuff to fill up my streams in terms of games because, like, the games that are coming out are just not... It's just not there. Like, there's just not enough coming out. So I'm trying to learn new skill sets. So, like, maybe I'll learn speedrunning. Maybe I'll learn, something else. I'm trying to learn Valorant so I can learn, a different type of game that I'm usually not used to. But, like, I always go back to League, and I'm like, okay, well, I know everything about League. I know everything about every champion, so why don't I just play that? Because then I don't have to learn anything, I can just zone out to that game. I can't zone out to Valorant. I need to be focused, like, on,
Facts. Yeah.
It's tough.
All right, well, we got 2 questions from the Twitter. We got Emo Furcheese last week. I didn't actually catch this question last week, so he asked again. He says, what genre of games do you like that has a subgenre that you dislike? For instance, I pretty much like all fighting games, but can I get into 3D fighters like Soul Calibur or Tekken?
I don't really like platform fighters. Like, I mean, I like Smash, but I don't really like Rushdown Revolt. I don't really like not Icons, Rivals. I don't like Brawlhalla. And it's weird. I don't know why, but I just don't like that stuff. I really like Smash, but that's it. And I think that's the only thing that comes to mind, honestly. I don't know why, but
I don't like. I feel like for me it'd be RPGs because I genuinely don't like RPGs a lot. I like a lot of them, but then like the ones that stick out are like they're there for good. Like I don't like RPGs. I don't really play a lot of Final Fantasy. I didn't like Octopath, none of that shit, right? And then I'm talking about traditional RPGs, by the way, not action. Action RPGs are in their own genre, but traditional RPGs, menu picking RPGs, don't like those. But then I play a lot of Pokemon. I love Chrono Trigger. It's one of my favorite games in the world.
I hear that a lot.
And I just got finished playing through Star Renegades, which is a roguelike RPG. You know what I mean? I guess it really just depends on what RPG it is, but it's like, I don't know, it's like a hard 50-50 because like if you ask me about anything about all the popular ones, I'm like, nah, I'm good. But hit me with some of the obscure ones, I'm like, oh yeah, that game slaps. Like
I think most people feel that way. Like because RPG is such a broad sort of spectrum of games that it's you can't really put them into any box. People try with like JRPG and Western RPGs, but I know so many people that love Chrono Trigger that don't mess with JRPGs otherwise. So and I don't really like Western RPGs. Well, that's not true. It depends on the setting. If it's fantasy, I hate it, but other stuff like Outer Worlds or something, it depends on the game for sure.
Yeah, no, man said no Persona. The issue about Persona is that y'all have made that game sound like it's a 1,500-hour game, and I just don't have the time to commit to that.
Yeah.
Like I just, I'm sure that it's probably a fantastic game. I've seen some good, I've seen a couple of streams for it and whatever. I'm like, oh, this looks pretty interesting. But the way that people talk about Persona is that like it is taking over their lives.
Yeah.
And I just play too many games to let any game do that for me. Like, I can't do it. So
yeah, and I don't know. And when I see like a fan base like that, and I don't like how do I put this? It's not that I'm mad at the fan base or that I don't like the fans, because be a fan of whatever you want, but I don't share a lot in common with those people. So I don't want to play the game. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like, why would I get into that? I feel that way about tactical shooters too. I feel like a lot of people that play like CSGO and Valorant are pretty like hardcore sweat lord. Well, no. That's every gamer, but yeah, that's anybody online. But no, a lot of people that play Valorant or like CSGO are like really trying to be good. They're kind of twitchy, like they really, it's sort of a sweat lord thing. And like, I'm just not that guy. I'm super casual unless I like really like a game. So I'm trying to like get into that headspace, but like, I feel
like as old gamers that happens to us a lot though.
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe
fan bases really can like At some point in time, I may have actually checked out Undertale, but y'all ruined it. Like,
Well, yeah.
Y'all ruined it. And on top of that, being a streamer, there's absolutely no way that I can get away with doing that game. In the way that I want to. Like, of course, I will want to like stream it, but everyone's gonna tell you how to play because everyone's played Undertale 8 million times.
Yeah.
Right. And that joint, you get tired of telling people, hey, please don't backseat me or whatever. Like, I started Hollow Knight again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I will definitely play this on stream. But then I'm like, nah, I'm not playing this on stream. So
people are gonna tell me
pretty much I play like 2 hours of
yep.
I play like 2 hours of Hollow Knight right before I go to sleep every night, and then so
for and for Undertale it's especially bad because like there's a fight right near the beginning that everybody is going to spoil for you. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna do it, and it's like a really cool moment in the game, and it sets up the rest of the game. Like there's a fight at the very beginning that sets the tone for the whole game, but everybody's gonna be like, ooh, he's gonna do it, and it's so annoying. Like I keep talking about this incident that happened to me. So I streamed Punch-Out, which you wouldn't think would be backseatable, but I streamed Punch-Out for Wii, and I was really enjoying it. And like you have to learn the patterns and the habits of the characters because it's basically sort of like a rhythm game. I had so many people that had never come into my stream before and I'd never seen since telling me how to beat the game. It was so bad. And they're like, dude, why isn't he doing this? Why doesn't he dodge right? Why doesn't he know how to beat this character in 3 punches? Coney, did you know you could beat this character in 2 punches? And my chat is just like, who are these people? Where are they coming from? It was insane.
Yeah, it's funny to me because I imagine that there's just some guy, right? Just like, or like a group of like of just diehard fans like sitting in a category just hitting F5 every 10 minutes.
Who's playing Punch-Out? Oh like, shit!
Yeah, come on, someone's doing it, right? Right, it's him. He's here. Get
in.
They all jump in. They're like, you're not playing this game correctly. Like, okay, well, why don't you stream it then? Like, that's always my favorite. Like, look, man, if you want to enjoy the game this much, why don't you just stream it? Like,
I just don't understand if you're playing a game for the first time, like, why would you want to spoil? Like, if somebody says they're playing it blind for the first time, why would you want to spoil that joy for them? You know what I mean? Why do you expect them to beat it as quickly as somebody who's read the wiki and done? Like, it's just weird to me. It's one of the most frustrating things about being on Twitch, though, is that you feel like you can't play certain games that you know you would like that are story heavy. But, you know, it comes with the territory. What can you do?
We got one more. We got another one, actually, from Nira, too. But also, Yo001 says, what are y'all early thoughts on Frame Makers? I think that I really don't have thoughts on it. It looks cool, I guess. I'll try it out when it comes out. I don't know. Is there, like, a demo that I missed? Because I didn't see nothing about that. But it's basically like another Smash type.
Yeah, I feel like I keep getting asked what are my thoughts on it, and like I don't know what to tell people because like the demo looks really good. Or not the demo, the trailer looked amazing, but that's all we've seen, right? Like it looks great. I hope it's good. It says it comes out early
access right now?
It says it comes out in 2022. Yeah, early 2022, and that's probably just early access in 2022. It looks amazing, but like, you know, a lot of games look amazing. I think what's more interesting, it's made by the people that made Super Smash Flash, which I heard was good, but I never wanted to get into it because, like, come on. Look at it. It's just gross. Like, I would look at it, ugh, this sucks. But apparently the game itself was good. So I'm excited to see what happens with this.
Yeah, that's kind of the same boat that I was with when it came to Smash Flash. I was like, I'm just looking at it, man. Like I can't take this seriously. However, this one looks like interesting because they have like there's assists and stuff in it too, and I'm like, all right, you know, a platform fighter with assists. This could go a little crazy, but we will see. Because you know, when it comes to games like this, not Smash games. Everything about them is competitive. No one ever plays these like these other Smash types for like fun, you know, without like trying to be as competitive as possible. So I think that's why it's harder for other platform fighters to get that same draw as Smash.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, like everyone who was playing the game was not like competitively satisfied by Smash, so they found something else that they were most competitively satisfied by. No more. I don't really know a lot of people that are like, yeah, man, I just like the pretty animals in Rivals. Like, no, that's not. That's like,
yeah. You want to play.
Like,
you want to play Melee, but with different mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard to sell. It's definitely hard to sell these other platform fighters in the way that you can sell Smash. Smash can be sold to literally anyone, you know. Like even if you're bad and it's like a bunch of Nintendo characters, sick, right? You can play one player by yourself all the time, sick, you know. It's kind of harder to do that with other platform fighters, though.
Yeah, no question.
And then the last question is from Nia Red, says, which great game has the worst beginning? Now, I'm not super far into Hollow Knight, but I'm gonna give it to Hollow Knight. I'm not gonna lie to you. That first hour is very boring.
Yeah.
It is like that. It took me like at least 4 tries to get past that first hour. Like I beat the first boss. I didn't really get anything for it, or the first little mini boss, the little big dude, and I didn't get anything for it. And all you do is just jump and slash. Like, and it's just it's like for what you're gonna get later, for what you actually get later into that game, the first hour of that does not translate into the idea of you getting more of that. Like I just it was very boring for me. So
I think the one that comes to mind for me, and it's funny because I don't remember Hollow Knight being that way, but I don't remember like I the second time that I tried to play it on my Switch, I'm like I got I think a few hours into the game and then I just didn't I kept getting lost, and you can't mark on the map like go this way, don't go that way. You can mark it, but like you also forget you have to like write it down in a book. No thanks. Hollow Knight was
the map thing was kind of because it's like man, here's a map of the area that I've crafted like so far, and he doesn't even like craft the whole thing. So so you're like, all right, now I gotta kind of memorize all this stuff, and then like you can go to his wife or whatever and get a compass, and like that's cool. But what if I don't always want to make that trek back every time? So I don't know. It's a Metroidvania though, so that's kind of part of the territory. Like like there has to be some level of like exploration in there. You know what I'm saying? And like I guess that's where that comes from. But I don't know. That first hour, bro, I promise you, like every time you told me Hollow Knight was a good game, I was just so angry. But I've gotten a little further now, and I'm like starting to see the inner workings of where it becomes better. And I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm trying to think of what I think. I can think of a lot of really bad openings, but I can't think of many that also turned into great. Like Fallout 3's opening is awful, but I don't like the game either. The one that always comes to mind for me of a really good game with a bad opening is Fallout 2. Because the first part of Fallout 2 is this really awful temple that doesn't tell you how to beat it. There's like no tutorial or anything, and it's a really old game, so whatever. But Fallout 2 has a really boring start, and I keep trying to get back into it, and I can't do it for that reason. So I'm sure there are a lot of different games, but that's the one that comes to mind right now. Because I don't play a lot of games, at least not lately. I don't play a lot of games that take a significant time investment. So like you're in the action pretty quickly, at least in the stuff that I play. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's what really. I think it also kind of comes with the territory of the game. Like, if you have an RPG, it's going to have a slow start. You can't just jump in with like 19 abilities. Like, all right, well. Like I'm like mid game right at the beginning. Like usually almost every beginning of every RPG it's like slash and fireball, and then by the end you're doing like omni slashes and like just Armageddons and whatever. Like you can't just start the game with that. Like that doesn't so like, but that's built into the style of game. When you have a game that's not built like that and it starts off in a very slow way, like it kind of throws you off. It's like a action adventure game, but like you don't fight anybody for the first hour. You're like, well, am I just walking around? Like, what's you know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? So,
but it definitely depends on the game because like you're saying in the chat, like if you're playing an RPG, you expect it to take a while. So it's not crazy.
Yeah. Someone said you don't see the first battle in Persona 4 for 2 hours. Jeez.
It's a long time.
Any Pokemon game has really long, boring beginning areas for me. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I think you get relatively quickly into the action. I mean, like I'm thinking about like the first Pokemon ever, and they probably got a little longer, but I'm thinking like Pokemon Red. You literally walk out the house, walk to the grass, and then he's like, "Yo, don't do that. Come to the lab and get a Pokemon."
Yeah.
Then that's like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but maybe for like some of the later ones, I think they do take a little bit, and that could be and I'm just not really thinking about it because like honestly, the last 3 Pokemon I just really don't remember much for. Like Sun and Moon was like whatever. Whatever the last one we just played. Oh, Sword and Shield.
Yeah, that was the one.
It was whatever. And so yeah, I don't know. I think I'm like if I think about the older ones, I don't think about it as hard. So
yeah.
Well, I think that's gonna be it for us, guys. Thank you for coming in to another episode of Y'all Gaming. I had a great time talking to y'all about games and whatnot. If you would like to get your question on to Y'all Gaming, then every time you see the tweet, it's every Tuesday that we have stuff to talk about. Every Tuesday at 5. If you see a tweet go up talking about some Y'all Gaming, go ahead and reply to that tweet or come to the chat, and when we do some Q&As, just drop your questions in the chat. We will pick them out of there accordingly. Why is my white balance so high right now? Like,
I don't know.
It is. It's only on like your camera though, because like in my you know what? Whatever. I don't care. My white balance.
I don't know what to tell you.
Adjoint is. Whoo boy. All right. Yeah, man. So if you missed this week, it goes on Spotify, it goes on Apple, and it goes on YouTube. Yep. I would definitely put another tweet out there for you guys for that. You got any final words?
Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm running Salty Bet tonight. If you guys want to come onto the stream, we got 16 fighting game characters fighting. Thank you, Gondor for putting it together. Yeah, it should be a good time. I said that it starts at 8 on the tweet, but I think it's going to actually start at like 10 or 11 because of how Salty Bet goes. You can't predict the time. So just tune in. We'll figure out something to do in the meantime. I think I got a funny idea for a stream. So
do you so you just go to Salty Bet's channel and do this?
No, so basically Salty Bet has random matches all the time, but one of my viewers, Gondor, he has an in with the guy that runs it. So we run a tournament on Salty Bet every 2 weeks that we come up with. So
right.
so 4
but it's
weeks
still on
ago.
Salty Bet. It's still on the Salty Bet channel.
Yes, yeah. But it's a full 16-person bracket. So a month ago it was Smash. 2 weeks ago it was like a bunch of cartoon characters. This week it's just fighting game characters from pretty much every series. So it'll be a good time.
That's cool. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, enjoy that. Tonight I will definitely be back doing, more Vibes and Survivors. So I will catch you guys then. But until then, be safe, wear a mask, and have a good night.